College application season was over, and my girlfriend had successfully applied to the military academy she'd always dreamed of. To celebrate her acceptance, Jinan, the dyed-haired, motorcycle-riding guy she'd met at an internet cafe, was taking her to get a tattoo. That afternoon, at a roadside stall, I'd overheard Chi bragging to his friends. A good girl's taste is definitely different. Tattoo clubbing, the whole package. I'll make sure she can't get out of bed for 3 days. In my past life, I desperately tried to stop Sun Yin from going through with it. I told her military academies don't allow tattoos, but she only sneered at me. This is the celebration party Jinan planned for me. You can keep being a timid pretty boy if you want, but don't ruin my chance at happiness. Furious and almost fainting, I still cared about her future enough to tell her parents. That night, she was locked at home, later passed the physical exam, and eventually entered the military academy. But Jinan, his plans thwarted, got drunk, rode his motorcycle onto the highway, and was killed in a crash. When Sun Yin found out, she completely broke down. She invited me to her home under the pretext of thanking me, then drugged my water. While I was beaten until my bones were broken, she stood nearby, recording every moment of my suffering. My future was ruined. My parents, unable to bear the blow, took their own lives. Sun Yin then sold the video of my torture for $1 on the dark web. In despair, I took a knife and ended my own life. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day she got her acceptance. Watching Sun Yin excitedly discuss the celebration party, I smiled. This time, I let her do as she pleased. Lu Shichuan, if you hadn't stopped me from getting matching tattoos with Jin on, he wouldn't have died. Now you're going to join him. The bone-shattering pain faded, and Sun Yan's demonic whisper in my ear slowly blurred. I jolted awake, but a burning sting spread across my cheek. A timid pretty boy like you wouldn't understand what real masculinity is. Sun Yan's friend covered her mouth and giggled. Yan, you should cut Lu Shichuan some slack. Everyone knows he has a crush on you. He probably dreams about you every night. Of course, he wouldn't want you getting a tattoo with someone else. Hearing that, Sun Yin crossed her arms and looked at me disdainfully. Look at his weak, fragile frame. He doesn't have anything like Jinon's 8-pack abs. After the tattoo, he's taking me to experience my coming-of-age ceremony. Both girls blushed instantly. I laughed coldly inside. Yesterday at the roadside stall, I'd accidentally heard Jinon boasting proudly to his friends. A good girl's taste is definitely different. Tattoo clubbing, the whole package. I'll make sure she can't get out of bed for 3 days, and then she'll beg me every day after. He chuckled obscenely, and one of his friends asked, confused, didn't she get into a military academy? Can she get a tattoo? Jinan, who hadn't even finished middle school, had no idea about such rules. Hearing military academy, his eyes grew even more vulgar. Does that mean we can do a uniform roleplay later? This so-called celebration was clearly meant to ruin Sun Yan's life. But on this day in my past life, knowing military academies forbid tattoos, I tried everything to stop Sun Yin from going with that motorcycle-riding delinquent. Later, she passed the physical exam and entered the military academy. But Jinan, his plans foiled, got drunk, rode onto the highway, and died in a crash. And I became the target of Sun Yan's hatred. Under the guise of thanking me, she invited me to her home, then drugged my water. I was beaten by thugs she hired until my bones were broken, my future destroyed. My parents, trying to raise money for my treatment, were killed by falling bricks at a construction site. She had someone photograph their tragic deaths and plaster the pictures all over my house. Then she sold a video of my beating for $1 on the dark web. Many used my suffering to make memes that spread everywhere. In despair, I ended my life with a fruit knife. Trying desperately to stop her had only led to my family's destruction. This time, I let her have her way. Watching Sun Yan's bashful expression, I said calmly, go ahead. The physical exams have only just started. You should enjoy yourself while you can. Soon you won't have the chance. Hearing my unusual tone, Sun Yin was taken aback, but she was quickly swept up again by the anticipation of the upcoming date, a hopeful smile reappearing on her face. Listening to her and her friend excitedly discuss what matching tattoo design to get and what sexy little dress to wear, my heart remained unmoved. I quietly packed my bag, planning to go home and submit my application. But Sun Yan's friend suddenly blocked my path. Trying to leave? Top student Lu, planning to sneak back and tell on her? Sun Yan's parents had raised her by running a breakfast stall and were very strict with her. Stay right here. You can leave after I come back tonight. Suppressing my anger, I spoke helplessly. Sun Yin, the application system closes at midnight tonight. I promise I won't tell your parents. Please just let me go, okay? Whether Sun Yin would even come back tonight was uncertain. I absolutely couldn't let her trap me in the classroom. Remembering my brutal death in my past life, I stood up to leave, but as soon as I reached the door, I was blocked by the group she'd brought. My tone was colder than ever. Sun Yin, let me go. Top student Liu is pretty fierce, huh? Yin, look at his pathetic face. He's definitely planning to sneak back and tell on you. Yeah, we can't let him ruin your romantic date with Brother Qi. We should lock him in here. Sun Yin, initially hesitant, hardened her resolve after hearing the delinquent's words. Outnumbered, no matter how I struggled, I couldn't leave the classroom. Yin, Brother Qi is already waiting downstairs. If he sees you tangled up with this loser, he won't be happy. Sun Yin immediately shoved me backward, then firmly locked the door. Bang! The door trapped me inside, just like my trapped, hopeless life in my past life. Given a second chance, she had once again ruined my future. This is your own fault. If you hadn't stopped me from going to Jinan, none of this would have happened. Yin, look at top student Liu. Doesn't he look like a dog locked in a cage? Our Yin is just too charming. Even locked in a room by you, he doesn't dare make a sound. Facing Sun Yin and her friends' roaring laughter, a wave of immense despair and helplessness washed over me. So over a decade of childhood friendship couldn't compare to the thrill she sought in her heart. Sun Yin and I had been together since kindergarten, walking to and from school side by side every day. We'd stayed up late solving a math problem, kept ourselves awake by loudly reciting English vocabulary to avoid dozing off. She worried I didn't have time for breakfast, so she brought me food from home every day. I worried about her safety, so I walked her home every day before leaving. She wanted to attend a military academy, so I gave up my dream of attending Tsinghua or Peking University without hesitation to follow her. But ever since Sun Yin met Qi Jinan, everything changed. Surely, today's Sun Yin no longer wanted a shared future with me. I stared at the clock on the wall, waiting for it to pass midnight. See? Sun Yin had completely forgotten I was still locked in the classroom. The next morning, I was found by the school security guard. After leaving the classroom, I turned and knocked on the homeroom teacher's office door. I'm willing to go to Tsinghua or Peking University. Is it still possible? Right after the college entrance exam results came out, the principal had brought representatives from Tsinghua and Peking University to my home several times. But to be with Sun Yin, I've been determined to follow her to the military academy. The homeroom teacher instantly beamed. It's possible, it's possible. I'll call right now. Within 5 minutes, the Tsinghua representative replied, as long as he's willing to come, he can choose any major. He can even go straight into a PhD program. After completing the application, I finally relaxed and headed home in a cheerful mood. But I didn't expect to run into Sun Yan's parents right outside my door. Sun Yan's parents were honest, hard-working people. Now, her mother's weary face was on the verge of tears. Sure, Chuan, Yin didn't come home at all last night. She's not answering any of our calls. Do you know where she went? The physical exam is tomorrow. That child is so troublesome. Hearing the noise, my parents came out and were surprised to see me. Sure, Chuan, why are you back alone? We thought you were with Yin. Instantly, everyone looked at me. Remembering my brutal death in my past life, I gently interrupted my mom and calmly looked at Sun Yan's mother. I wasn't with her, and I don't know where she went. Uncle, Andy, you should check somewhere else. Sun Yan's mother wanted to ask more, but her father was already furious. That brat. Just wait till I find her. I'll teach her a lesson. After seeing off Sun Yan's angry, heartbroken parents, my mother pulled me inside worried. Did you and Yin have a fight? You two were usually inseparable. I smiled at my mom and went back to my room. Of course I knew where Sun Yin was, but she probably hadn't woken up yet. Thinking of my family's tragic end caused by her in my past life, I couldn't wait to see her downfall. Early the next morning, as class monitor, I arrived at school early to organize students for the physical exam. At the school gate, Sun Yin stepped off Qi Jinan's motorcycle, looking bashful, her legs slightly unsteady as she walked. Students eyed the delicate tattoo on her wrist with envy. Chi Jinan proudly walked her over to me, shoving their matching tattoos in my face. Top student Lu, jealous? Yin is my woman now. Sun Yin nestled in his arms, looking shy. But I couldn't be bothered with them. Let Sun Yin stay in her dream a little longer. Her suffering was about to begin. While distributing physical exam forms, one of the classmates who had helped Sun Yin bully me taunted me sarcastically. After Yin finishes her physical, she can go get her admission letter. Did top student Lu even manage to apply anywhere? More than that, he was probably crying in the classroom all night yesterday. I replied expressionlessly, "How do you know I didn't apply?" Sun Yin, leaning against Chi Jinan, looked at me as if I were a joke. "Lu Shichuan, I locked you in the classroom. How could you apply? Now you don't even have a chance at community college." The room erupted in laughter, but I ignored it. Xinghua's admission letter had been delivered to my home overnight. As for who really had no future, that was clear. Seeing me laugh instead of getting angry, Sun Yin frowned. "Lu Shichuan, it's still not too late to kneel and apologize to me. Once I'm in the military academy, I can get you a job as a doorman or security guard. Come on, Yin, maybe top student Lu prefers dishwashing. Why not let him work at your family stall?" Their mockery echoed in my ears. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and silently counted in my heart, 3, 2, 1. The next second, Sun Yan's mother came running over. Sun Yin walked over eagerly. "Mom, did you bring my admission letter?" But her mother, face dark, walked up to her and without a word slapped her hard. "Everyone else got their admission letters, except you. I already asked your homeroom teacher. You didn't get in." Sun Yan's face instantly paled, her voice trembling. How is that possible? I scored over 600, 20 points higher than the minimum admission score for that school and major. "Mom, are you lying to me?" Seeing her daughter's disbelief, Sun Yan's mother was so angry she almost fainted. Grabbing Sun Yan's arm, she demanded furiously, "Who told you to get a tattoo?" Sun Yan glanced sheepishly at Chi Jinan in the distance, about to speak, when her mother's heartbroken scolding cut her off. "Don't you know military academies don't allow tattoos? You didn't even pass the physical exam. Where are you going to get an admission letter?" Her words made Sun Yan's eyes widen in shock. "How could that be? Who made you get that tattoo?" Sun Yan's parents had sold their house to send her to this prestigious high school, pinning all their hopes on her. That's why they'd been so strict. This time, Sun Yan wouldn't escape her parents' punishment. I watched coldly as sweat poured down her forehead. Just as I was about to leave, a loud shout came from behind. It was Lu Shichuan. I was with him all day yesterday. Not only did he take me to get a tattoo, he took advantage of me. He forced me. "Mom, it was Lu Shichuan who ruined my life." I froze, my ears ringing. Before I could recover from the shock, Sun Yan's mother charged at me. Before I could react, a vicious slap landed on my face. A burning pain instantly exploded on my left cheek, and metallic taste of blood filled my mouth. "You shameless little beast. How dare you violate my daughter? Our whole family spent hundreds of thousands so Yin could have a future. And you scum, ruined her." Hearing that I'd violated his daughter, Sun Yan's father kicked me hard in rage. The force made me stumble backward, lose my balance, and fall to the ground. "You little beast. Yin has been your friend since childhood. How could you do such a shameless thing to her? I'll end you today. None of us will have a future." The students around, seeing me beaten, not only didn't help explain, but a few of Sun Yan's friends even added fuel to the fire. "Uncle Annie, I saw it yesterday. Yin didn't want to go with him, but he dragged her away." "Yeah, I saw him lay hands on Yin, too. Lu Shichuan has always liked Yin at school. Because Yin kept rejecting him to focus on studying, he got angry and forced himself on her." Hearing this, Sun Yan's parents grew even more furious, hitting me harder. The surrounding parents, upon hearing that I'd forced Sun Yan to get a tattoo and taken her to a hotel because of my crush, ignited with righteous anger. They rushed over all at once, and countless fists and feet landed on me. I struggled to explain, but my weak voice was drowned out by the rising curses. What kind of little beast is this? If he's like this now, he'll be a murderer when he grows up. This kind of scourge should be beaten to death so he doesn't hurt anyone else. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His parents must be no good either. Film this and put it online. Let everyone see. Someone raised a phone. The flash blinded me. More blows landed on me. I felt my internal organs shifting. Through blurred vision, I saw Sun Yin standing at the edge of the crowd. Tears of grievance still streaked her face, but the venomous smile at the corner of her mouth was unmistakable, exactly like when she'd driven me to suicide in my past life. The crisp sound of breaking bones echoed. The memory of my family's destruction in my past life was still vivid. Now I finally understood. The person before me was no longer the Sun Yin who used to bring me breakfast and follow me around. The girl who'd leaned on my shoulder late at night, softly asking if I'd go to the military academy with her, had died the moment she met Qi Jinan. In that case, there was no need to spare her dignity. Summoning my last bit of strength, I roared, "I have evidence." As everyone stood bewildered, I took out my phone from my bag. Struggling to open my swollen eyes, I found a video Qi Jinan had sent me yesterday and held it up for everyone to see. On the screen, the person's face was flushed. Then the phone was tossed aside, and sounds of unmistakable intimacy filled the air. I suddenly turned up the volume. No one could mistake what those sounds meant. Sun Yan's seductive moans mixed with a man's heavy breathing, making hearts race and faces flush. Everyone's expressions changed instantly. Sun Yan's mother was the first to react, shouting, "You little beast! How dare you play this? Do you have a death wish?" I wiped the blood from my lips and sneered. "Don't rush. Listen carefully. Who is that with who?" The next moment, an unfamiliar male voice spoke. "Yin, I never thought someone so good at studying would be such a natural at this too. Absolutely intoxicating." The voice was clearly not mine. Sun Yan's mother's furious expression froze, as if struck by lightning. But the next sound, Sun Yan's shy gasp, was the final straw. You're hurting me." "What? Has that top student Lu never touched you?" Sun Yin scoffed, her tone dripping with scorn. "That loser doesn't even dare hold my hand. He's nothing like you." The previously chaotic scene fell silent. All the parents stared at Sun Yan's family in shock. The sounds from the phone continued, Sun Yan's moans and the man's grunts ringing in everyone's ears. I abruptly paused the video. Under everyone's guilty, evasive gazes, I pushed myself up from my knees. Wiping the blood from my mouth, I turned the phone towards Sun Yan's parents and said sharply, "See clearly? The person with Sun Yin last night was Qi Jinan, not me. And I wasn't the one who told her to get a tattoo. Go find whoever's responsible. It has nothing to do with me." I pointed coldly at Sun Yin in the corner, my gaze sharp as a blade. Besides, they locked me in the classroom all night. The school's security cameras can prove it. Sun Yan's face turned deathly pale, her lips trembling without sound. Then Sun's mother let out a heart-wrenching cry. "Your father and I worked day and night, sacrificing everything for you. How could you do this to us? Our whole family's hopes were on you." Sun's mother's cry caught in her throat. She pointed a trembling finger at Sun Yin, her pupils reflecting her daughter's paper-white face. The surrounding parents, now understanding the truth, looked ashamed. "So that's what happened. This girl doesn't look decent at all. No wonder she hooked up with someone right after the exams. Oh dear, look at her mother. Her hair turned white in an instant. What a tragedy." The girls who'd earlier added fuel to the fire had already shrunk to the back of the crowd, afraid of being implicated. "No, that's not true. Mom, the video is fake." Sun Yin lunged at me, her nails nearly gouging my eyes. "It was Lu Shichuan. He likes me, I rejected him, so he deliberately faked this video." In a last-ditch effort, she pushed all the blame onto me. But her feeble defense crumbled when I played the next recording. It was what I'd secretly recorded at the roadside stall yesterday afternoon. Qi Jinan, arm around his friend, bragged excitedly. "That girl looks innocent, but she's wild deep down. After the tattoo, I'll take her clubbing and get her drunk. Guarantee she'll be calling me Daddy in 3 days. Military academy? Isn't a uniform role play even hotter?" The obscene laughter in the recording, mixed with the clinking of beer bottles, was as clear as a slap across everyone's face. Sun's father staggered back half a step, as if all strength had been drained from him, and sat heavily on the ground. Sun's mother gripped Sun Yan's shoulders tightly, her eyes blazing with rage as she demanded, "Who was the man you went to the hotel with?